Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashai Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akim. And this is your brother Bawan, back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashai Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. All praises and glory is due. And the title of this video will probably be something along the lines of "The Nations Are Mad," right? And this is going into the Twitter post that you see right here, or basically the X post. And the question this Sarah Dixon asks is, should Nigeria allow a US military base in Nigeria? And basically this is on the back of the recent events that have been going on here in Africa, especially West Africa, where you have the US military, and the French military, right? Basically, the Western military being kicked out of these African countries. They are being chased out basically by the African leaders because of their evils, right? Because of the evils and the harm, the wickedness that they have been involved in. Now, let me make something clear. I'm not saying that there are military bases, right, in West Africa, but I think the only military base that exists in Africa is the one in, is it Djibouti, or I've forgotten the name of the country. But it's not military bases, but more like military occupation. In other words, in a lot of these African countries, the US military is allowed to operate within them. So let me continue reading the article. David Hundeyin made a tweet the other day that the United States and France were putting pressure on President Tinubu, which is the name of the Nigerian president, not our, but the president of Nigeria, to allow military base or bases in Nigeria to accommodate the military personnel expelled by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger from their individual countries, right? So none of these African countries had military bases in them, and these are some of the countries that have just basically kicked out not just the US but the French as well. Basically, the powers of the West from their countries, they kicked out their military. And it goes without saying exactly why that happened, because you see the injustice and you see the wrongful dealings that these devils do when they are when they put boots in the ground in your country, and they have military, right? And they have military, moving around in your country. So continuing on, many comments under the tweet pointed to various directions that included, well, I'm not even going to read all this part because this is not what the lesson is about. I'm not talking about what is going to happen to Nigeria if Babylon the Great, gets their hands on it, right? That honestly does not matter. But rather, what we are talking about is Babylon the Great, Esau, Edom, the West, falling out of favor with the rest of the world. That's why the title of this video is "The Nations Are Mad," because now the eyes of the people are being opened and they are seeing, right, who the real enemy is, who the real problem on the earth is, and people are realizing that it's, exactly who: Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great. So this is the book of Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the, hey, that's the elder from the Netherlands camp. Anyway, Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right. So you believed in the lie of America's, the lie of America, basically justice, freedom, and the American way, or something along those lines. You believed in the American dream, and you believed that the US military had the world's interests at heart, that basically they were fighting for justice and freedom for the whole world. But once the truth actually came out, and the men of starting with the elders and the apostles on down, the men of the Lord revealed to you the unrighteous dealings, the injuries, the riches got by deceit, the wickedness of Esau Edom, you realize that all they are really doing, the military only exists to exploit resources and to steal resources. The military is nothing more than an organized crime gang that is set up by a sovereign government, which is in this case Babylon the Great. The same thing they were doing in the Middle East. They were basically farming, you know, copy. I believe that's the name of the plant. And poppy. Yeah, poppy. That's the term I was looking for, which is opium, right? You know how to fuel the DRUG trade, the cartels. And here in Africa, what they are farming is gold, uranium, oil, copper, and there are other resources that they are getting here from Africa. And that's why the military exists here in Africa. They're not here to defend you, right, or to spread freedom and democracy, right? Of course, we know the kind of freedom and democracy that is being spread, but they're not here with your best interest at heart, but rather to exploit the countries and make sure that the resources that they are getting from here stays easily accessible. And that's why, being kicked out of these African nations presents such a problem. And now they are scrambling, looking for who will take them in, right? And of course, they still have control over the Nigerian president because he's basically a puppet. And now they are putting pressure on him to, basically sign a bill or pass a bill that will allow the US and France to build military bases here in Nigeria. And you already know how that's going to end up being. It's just going to be more hell out here for you people. But that's showing you what time that we're in, like I said. Babylon the Great is falling out of favor with the other nations. Now they are exposing them. Now that Esau Edom, right, has been exposed, the dragon has been exposed basically as being the wicked. The nations are beginning to separate themselves from him. And that's why you see this situation of them kicking out of them declaring basically, it's not really like a kick out, but they basically declared, right, a bill, a law that would cause the military to stop operating in their countries. But of course, the Nigerian president won't do that because we already know how or what control Esau has over him. So continuing on, many comments under the tweet pointed to various directions that included Nigeria's sovereignty will be at risk, Nigeria's politics will be interfered in by the US, Nigeria's security architecture will be at risk. Nigeria's economy will face US imperialism, and that's the term right there. When you have military boots of another nation walking around in your land, you're basically a colony. You're basically being colonized, right? There's no other way to say it. And this is really just Rome all over again because it's Rome that started this whole military bases and military outposts in different countries in order to control the affairs of that country. Well, it's not like it's not as though the US don't already control the affairs out and the things that go on here in Nigeria for the most part, but having those actual military boots on ground is more of an advantage. And really, this whole thing right now is the US doesn't want to concede to Russia and China because that Russia and especially China have a large majority of lands here in Africa, right? Because of all the debt that's a lot of these African nations owe China, and it's the same thing with Russia, right? All the loans and the or with all the loans and the deals, basically the deals now that they set up with the Chinese governments, where the Chinese government builds railroads, builds roads, and things of that nature, and also they borrow money from the Chinese government. So right now the US is scrambling, or Babylon the Great is scrambling because they realize that if they lose any more footholds in Africa, and it's the same thing with these European nations as well, they are going to lose the bulk of their resources. So hey, look out for more of those conditions, okay? But the main point here being this, at the end of the day, all this um trade wars, geopolitical mess, whatever you want to call it, it's all Bible prophecy. Because this is what is going to happen in these last days. Esau, Edom is being exposed. These devils are being revealed. The wicked is being revealed. So let me go to the book of Second Thessalonians, the second chapter. So this is the book of Second Thessalonians 2, and I'm going to start from verse 8. Going to skip, we're going to jump down to verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And this is describing Esau Edom, the so-called red man that is ruling over the earth to a T. Okay, perfect description, because that's exactly what these devils are doing right now, and they are being exposed. And that is why once again you see they are falling out of favor with the nations. Another country has basically kicked out the U.S. military. First it was Afghanistan, and now you have, you know, Africa, African nations. And this is why you are seeing Congress trying to pass a bill to ban the scriptures, trying to pass another hate crime bill for the small hearts, right? Trying to pass, different bills just to now to come against the scriptures and ban or persecute the reading or the teaching of the scriptures, because these devils are they know they are being exposed. They know their secrets have been revealed, and now they are trying to persecute us, the men of the Lord, or this, for exposing them, right? They know exactly where this expose is coming from. They know what spirit is driving it, and it's the spirit of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And these are the times that we're in right now, and that's why the scripture, and that's why the scriptures. See, let me see whether I can get these precepts. Basically, you see that Babylon the Great, all right, the European powers, the West, they are losing their power. As it is written, art thou become as weak as even as weak as we. And I can't remember where that precept is in. So I'm just going to not really going to go into it. Okay. So yeah, let me end the video right there with that. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Racha Kwadash Wa Abad Babal Shalom.